All right. Welcome, ladies. This is Relationship Talk Tuesday with your host, Shar, and your co host, Kiana.
Hey
How you
everybody.
doing? So,
Good.
relationship talk, for people who may wonder, what is relationship talk? What is this all about? And so, it is about talking about relationships, picking a topic with discussing um, topics about relationships and including a Q&A with that topic. And then let's go ahead and put why, because I don't know, I'm just putting this out here. We never discuss why we're doing this. And I know for some it's clear, but I'm going to, I made my own definition on why, even though it may be obvious. And that is finding it important to unify perspectives and build and keep healthy relationships. And so
Right.
that is the why on Relationship Talk and why we do this. Would you agree, Kiana?
Yes, it is very important.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Our topic today is going to be about when you have your man's back. Having your man's back. Whether you were married for folks, whether you have a boyfriend, whatever the case may be, all of us pretty much has been in a relationship before. For the ones who are married, you pretty much know what I'm talking about on another level. But for the ones who are not, who have a man, you semi know basically what we're talking about when it comes to having your man's back. So let's go ahead and do some Q&A with that. What do you think it means when someone tells you or you're in a situation where you have to have your man's back?
Wow, I think this is a very good subject, first of all. And I think it's very important. I feel that when you have your significant others back, especially when they're not around, it's extremely important because you're their voice. Like they don't know what's going on at that present time, And so you're their voice. So having their back is extremely important. They got to know that, look, even when I'm around, you go still hold me down and let it be known, hey, it's not cool what you're directing. My husband, my significant other is not here to defend themselves, so I have to stand and defend them for whatever reason or whatever situation it is. You see, it can be
Yeah.
addressed differently with your spouse there to input on what's going on. Well, he's not here at the present time, so I'm gonna input that you're not for that. That's very disrespectful, and it's just not right to do.
Right. Because it's not about taking sides. It's not about
Right.
someone who used to be cool with you and now they're not, or family members, whoever come against your territory of love,
Right.
whoever come against your union and what God has placed before. It's not somebody, if they're coming against it, then it's a threat. And it's kind
Yeah.
of like, well, I'm going to stand on us. Like, I'm going to stand for what we believe in, and I'm going to make sure that we stay intact. I'm
Right.
not going to let anybody come in between because you don't build on what we have. We build on what we have. So it's important to know that um, no matter what the enemy, because the enemy will use someone without even knowing,
Right.
without even, not even second thinking, like, wait a minute, are they are they a threat to our relationship? Are they trying to harm us any kind of way? Though they may be saved, we got to talk about
Right.
that too. Though they may be a believer or a leader, whatever it may, we're still human and we still bleed blood at the end of the day. So it's kind
Yes.
of, it does not matter how holy you think you are,
Right.
or if you're a preacher or whatever. You people still hurt people, you
Yeah.
know, and so it's still painful. It's pain is pain and pain stains if you let it.
Right.
Like, um, being watchful and sober minded and like relying on God to give you that discernment
Right.
on who is a target, who's a threat, who wants your relationship, who wants to break you up, who wants
Right.
to have you choose side.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot to um, deal with or to manage when you're not prepared or when you don't
Right.
know what you're doing. But having your man's back is a big task. You think, oh, it ain't nothing, you know. Oh, you better tell that girl say bye. You know, you better, you better, go this way and leave him alone.
Right.
No, it's more like who's working, like
Right.
actively working against your relationship.
Right.
Like, so have you, whether it's your past or now, have you seen any threat or thought someone was one way and they wasn't towards
Oh, most
relationship?
definitely. Most definitely. It was surely my past, thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
And most definitely. We were supposed to be like I say what sisters, best friends, whatever the situation scenario. And all alone, of course it took two adults in this situation to make
yeah.
that decision on what they did, but it was totally I was blindsided. I did not even see it. I never
You
thought,
never see it coming, right?
never, never. I was looking like, what just happened? Like, was I that dumb? Like,
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, I did. I have been in that situation, and I'm telling you, it was very uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what was the status? Yeah, you were together, but what was the
Hmm.
status for you, or what was your where was your feelings or your loyalty at concerning that? That made it like a big deal, or like
Right. And in that particular situation, I was obviously hurt by the two because I was extremely, what I'm saying? I was with him and that was supposed to be my ace. You know what I'm saying? I was, I think I was more hurt with the friend slash sister. And the reason why I say that, it wasn't one didn't do more wrong than the other. They both was wrong. It's because, you had so many years with that person. Like you guys
right.
have been through the thick and thin. You done shared secrets. You know, like, like, man, come on. I think I was more hurt with the other person. I was hurt with both of them. Don't get me wrong, but I was devastated because it was her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it did. It happened. Yeah, and it was even some kids out of that situation, and I had a kid, the other person had a kid, and it
Mhm.
was it was it was devastating because I still wanted to be with that person.
Right. Right.
Let's just be vulnerable and let's just be truthful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. It's
So
like they messed up a happy story. They changed
yeah, so
narrative, and it wasn't even
yeah,
your story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I dodged the bullet, but I didn't know it at the time. But yeah. So it was and this is when it reached that situation. Now in other folks situation, if you ain't reached that point, then thank God. This was already, they already, you know what I'm saying. But if it can be preventable, that's awesome. But that stands to where you and your significant other, you know, it's just the right thing to do. When you see that somebody, you be like, oh, I thought they meant good when they really didn't. And a lot of times they be sitting back and really it be the people you least expect to be envious of what you got on. Be like, what the envious? What I ain't got? Like, I'm just
And
living
they
like the
hide it
next person.
so well.
Very well, very well. And I had a situation like that. I was really close to this one girl, and she didn't do anything dirty. So I loved her with everything I had in me. But I think it was a situation I might have told you about previously. But I'm like, wow, because I used to be like, man, she is so gorgeous. Like, you would least expect these certain people to be envious of you because you be looking like we just do movie night like everybody else. We fuss, we do what everybody
Yeah.
else do. Like, we not doing nothing. It's like, oh, I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, but it,
But
it
it's
happened.
easy. It's easy on social media to paint that picture that
Yes,
you got
yeah,
it going on, and
yes. It's really easy.
now you got people fiending for your
Yeah.
relationship, fiending for what you have. And it's like, if you only knew
Yeah.
what we going through and
You
what we
seeing these
don't
selfies.
have.
You ain't just
Right.
see this
Well,
argument an hour ago. You know what I'm saying?
right. That's just like hiding a cookie
Yeah.
from your child, and they
Right.
think you got more and you don't. The box is
You
empty,
don't.
right?
I'm just I'm just like everybody else, like, and it be so crazy because you be like when you that close to situations like that or whatever like that. Usually, them people that are really close to you, like y'all do date night, y'all cool, y'all talk on the phone. They, they kind of know about the ugly days. Come on, let's just be real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we share some things with them. We might not share like just whatever, especially we don't want them to pass judgment on our spouse or something like that. But they know if such and such don't rub you the wrong way for the week or they done did something foul. So they know like the other parts. Other people might not know that because they don't know you two relationship personally or in that sort of they just see you at the church or see you around the way. I'm talking about for whoever. You see what I'm saying? But then people that kind of hurt us the most, they be knowing other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it can be really surprising because you never see it coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then it's kind of like, how do you handle what just transpired? Like,
Yeah.
what is the solution, or what is the aftermath on picking up the pieces? It's like some of these situations are piercing, painful, jabbing, slicing you up, and you mentally like, man, how am I going to go back? How am I going to come back from this? Lord, help me. So I mean, I know all things work together for those who love the Lord. We know that's the scripture. So it does
Right.
play a part in using your pain for his glory and turning it around for good, and
Right.
helping people that went through it or didn't go through it, help
Right.
them to make sure they don't go through it. Or we know
Right.
that it can all be helpful, but still the damage, it's like the
Yeah.
damage
It's
is
damage
there.
because it's like this, First Lady Shaw. It's just like, this situation, whatever, just transpired. You know what I'm saying? These are people you probably been. I mean, people whoever been knowing a while or whatever like that, and you love them. You genuinely you love them. Like you be like, man, I'm so hurt and disappointed in your actions. But like I just can't wake up tomorrow and be like, I don't love you tomorrow. I can't wake up tomorrow, you get hit by a car and you die, and I not be saddened about the
Right.
years that was close. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Hmm.
like it's sort of like hot. I'm hot and cold at the same time. I'm disappointed in you. I'm hurt. I'm betrayed by your actions. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But how I think it's just different stages that you go through. It's almost like the grief process. Like,
Hmm.
I just put myself out there, with my daughter's father passing away. Like I never been through that. So I didn't know how that feels. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And it's a different kind of feeling because you married, you moved on, especially but if you guys are like still cool. Like I just
Yeah.
had gave him a ride days prior. It I didn't know something could devastate me like that, and then you hurt for your child, you be like, man, but you never know until you actually walk in it, and you be
Right.
like, man, I'm so disappointed in you right now. It hurt. What you did was a betrayal of our friendship, of our loyalty to each other. I never seen that coming. But then you got to deal with this other side of you because you be like, they foul, but I
Yeah.
still kind of
That's the
love
other
them.
side. Right. I love them, but
Yeah,
I can't stand them
yeah,
for what
exactly.
they pull. Yeah.
And
And
I
I
think
guess.
that I think it, I think it takes a lot of time because you probably end up seeing them people or that particular person out somewhere or something like that, and you be like, man, these people I used to just walk up to a hug and hey, what y'all got going, and it's just so awkward. It's really awkward.
So
But
it comes to a time where you have to find, and this is what I'm going to be talking about for Purpose Live on Thursday anyway, about
right,
the healthy you. And you
Yeah.
have to come to a situation or a point in your life when things like that happen to you, where you have to, even if that means pulling yourself apart, you have to find a way to heal from this.
Right.
I don't, I don't see you. you went, you went out. Okay, so we having some technical difficulties, but as I wait for her to get on, as I was saying, you have to find a way to um, heal from this. When someone hurts you and someone try to come in between your relationship, um, you have to see what God says about it first, and then you have to give it to Him, so He can help you, so He can heal you in the way it should go. Because you don't want to find yourself hating yourself or hating that person, because you don't want to create a more of a divide between you and your spouse or your significant other. When it affects the both of you, then you guys have to find a way to come together and create a solution to heal. And that also means through prayer, giving it to God, and finding your way of healing, whether that's through therapy, self care, whatever it may be to help you and heal you. And she's coming back on. At least I thought she was. Okay, um, so that is mainly what we were talking about with having your man's back. So she's back. She has to unmute herself.
Oh, girl.
Okay,
The
are you
devil is.
good? Yeah, so
Uh,
I was just going on and talking about um coming to a place and a solution to help heal you, to have a healthy you, and to find a way to heal from the pain, from the hurt, that someone else has caused, to try to divide you and your spouse, or
yeah.
to try to just come against your whole life, your whole meaning of
Right.
who you are and your relationship. And so, um,
Right. Do you think, like as believers, we're human, right? We really read and everything like that. Do you think that is more pressure on us to be like, oh, that's okay, and that, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's not
I
okay.
believe it is more pressure, because you have the word of God that you're relying on
Yeah.
to live by, and then you wrestle just like anyone else, because we're all flesh and blood,
Yeah.
and as long as we're here on earth, sin is still at our door trying to get
Right.
in. So we're going to wrestle every day. That's why we have to fight every day, and it's a battle every day, and we have to continue trusting God and be like on our faith, like at our
Right.
faith, and trusting Him, because it's like it's so much pressure on doing the wrong thing or wanting to retaliate and wanting to
Yes.
um you know act in our flesh.
Right.
The pressure is there. It's easy to do it because of course the enemy is going to try to provoke you to do it and try to get you to do
Right.
it. And so yes, I would agree that it is pressure, and it is hard to you know um make amends when you've been hurt
Yeah.
so much. You can learn,
Yeah.
through time you learn to forgive, but
Yeah.
to amend after that, some people have their own solution and their own dealing of how to
Right.
do it, whether they just leave them alone completely, or
Right.
they distance themselves and be there for them, still love them, but they got a distance. You know, you can only go so far with me because I'm over here, like I'm keeping
Right.
myself from you because I don't want to get hurt again, or I don't want you to do the same thing you think you can do because your character hasn't changed.
Right. And the
And that's
trust
what it
is
boils down
broken.
to. It
Right.
boils down to the person's character. What's up with
Yeah,
your
their
character?
character and the trust has been broken also. So
Right,
it takes some time to rebuild, and then it may never be back to where it was at. You see what I'm
right,
saying? Because
right.
deep inside me, I'm just keep it real. I feel like you may do it again. So
Exactly.
you have to protect your mental peace, you know? You
Right.
have to you have to get you have to protect that because that is what's on the line. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to go through these emotional roller coasters. Yeah, I care about you, but you didn't care enough about me by the significant thing that you did towards me. So I'm gonna love you, but I may have to love you from a distance.
And you know
And
it
it's
hurts even
perfectly okay.
more. Right. And
Yeah.
you know it hurts even more when your spouse or your significant others involved. You
Yeah.
know, because it's like, okay, this is the way. What you just said was the way on how to protect your spouse and how
Yeah.
to have your spouse back is to step
Yeah.
away from the situation and realize, wait a minute, you not only hurting me, but you hurted him, or vice versa. Because we know when it comes to our mates, if you hurt them, you hurt us. Period. Like they say, period.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Them is,
yeah,
you know,
it's a real. I
them.
mean, it's no joke. And that's why
Yeah.
people, some people take marriage seriously, some people don't. But for the ones
Hmm.
who do, if you hurt them, you hurt me. If you hurt
Right.
me, you hurt them. And now we
Yes.
both gotta deal with this. Now we both
Yeah.
got, now we got some blows to give,
Yeah.
not physically, but
Right.
on a mental note, like,
Right.
okay, how can I defeat this thing? How can I,
Yeah. Because you're
um,
trying to dissect everything. You see what I'm saying? You
right,
trust your mate, and you know your mate didn't cross no boundaries that shouldn't been crossed. You know what I'm saying? But you still trying to dissect how did we get to this
right.
situation? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And so,
Yes. It's like, wait a minute. I just thought, weren't we just good?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought things was on the flow. Like I thought we were really good, especially like I said, when you're a believer, it's harder because you have standards. You expect
yeah,
that believer to step up and do the right thing,
right,
just likewise, just like they would want
right,
you to. But when they fall, and I know we all fall short,
yeah.
so it's not to judge. But when they fall, it's like, and then you try to take me with you, and it's like, what? I
Not
thought we
cool.
was better than this. And so it could be, like I said, it could be from anybody. When I was saying earlier, it could be a pastor, a leader, an elder, um, whoever in the church, outside the church. It could be anybody that you love the Lord, but your character jacked up.
Totally, totally.
Right.
I
So
totally,
kind of like,
yeah.
and then you getting vibes and spirits from how they are and what they do, and it's like, well, you love the Lord, you go to church, but
That you living a
I'm
double
not
life.
understanding. Right. I'm not, and that's why I'm being careful what I'm saying because I'm not here to judge them. But
Right,
I am questioning what is going on and
right,
how are you walking your faith
right,
if your character is already planned out to get me or to get
right.
mine.
You just being human, because any human would think, and stuff like that. And this, I think it's difficult, especially when you love whoever, and the disappointment is just like, man, for real, you know what I'm saying? And the disappointment hurts, and you know that you have to move on, but it's just like it's a process, just like when you deal with grief,
Yeah.
days you
Yeah.
okay, and days you a mess, and it comes in waves. And I think with forgiveness, or just kind of moving back from the situation, I believe it comes in waves too, because when something first happened, when a wound is first open and you pour salt in, it's going to sting, it's going to
Yeah.
burn. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Let it heal for about a week or two. You might put a little salt in it. It won't sting so bad. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So it's just a process. I don't think it's just like, okay, it's overnight and you're supposed to be like this, that, and the other. I think it's a process, and I think you should give yourself time to just process and let it process itself. It's like you're not wishing ill will towards anybody.
Right.
You just
Right.
trying to process, because in a way you're kind of dealing with a death. You're kind of dealing with somebody that you thought they was like this, but they not here no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so
Right.
so it's kind of dealing with a death in a
And
sort of way, because yeah.
it's kind of like thinking about how many women are, and I know I could attest to this. How many women have gone through mental griefs,
Yes.
physical, not just physical griefs, but mental grief,
Oh,
and who's talking about it? Who is there to lead them to healing on that? And
even
I
as
was just thinking,
yes,
one
that's it.
thing, I just like lost love. I was just praying, like, Lord, deliver me from lost love. Like,
Wow.
people don't talk about lost love. This could be anything, and this is gonna be another topic on lost love in your relationship. That's gonna be another topic. But lost love meaning, and it's anybody, whether it's a
Yeah.
friend, a parent, a sibling, a cousin, a coworker, whoever, who you thought loved you or
Hmm.
who you thought was there for you,
Right.
and then they ghosted or something happened, and now you
Yeah.
lost you got a lost love. Now you grieving. Where
I
is
just
Go
situation
ahead.
too.
Go ahead.
It just deal with that situation too, sis. And it was real hurtful, because you be like, you heard one side of the story, but you didn't hear the full story. You know what I'm saying? And it's sort of like, I don't want to deal with you no more, because I can't keep going year after year, and then we go keep backtracking and coming back to this. No, that mentally, I think that lost love, that's gonna be a powerful movement right there, because it's so
Yeah.
true. But don't nobody talk about it, First Lady Shaw. We have no,
Right.
even believers, the mental and all that stuff like that. Man, only if you could see the stuff in my head, only if you could see the things at certain times, aspects, and I'd be like, God, I know that I'm telling you, it's a subject that we don't talk about, and it
Mental
needs to be
illness.
talked about, but people don't talk about it, First Lady Shaw,
No.
because like they don't have nobody to talk to about it. Or if I tell you how I'm feeling right now, you'll think I'm crazy. And at
Yeah.
this moment right now, I may be like that, but
Right.
need to talk to you. I need you to feel that, hey, I need some help. I Even
Yeah.
if it's on the phone with me for 2 hours,
Right.
even if it's just that, you know what I'm saying, even if it's just like you just coming by giving me a hug. Do you ever, I mean, I understand the pandemic going on and everything like that, but do you realize how much sometimes somebody just need a hug? Do you
Right.
like, I ain't
Right.
talking about
Simple as that.
like embrace hug. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're going through, but I know you're going through something. I just
Mm-hmm.
need an embrace hug. It was almost like my situation that I just came out of, First Lady Sean. You just was started pleading the blood of Jesus and just praying on me. Like, I may didn't have a lot of breath to say what I needed to say, but you knew this is war room. This is
Yeah.
war room. I we got to pray, and then the old folks used to say you got to pray without season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or the old folks church, they used to say they over there tarrying for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The young generation be like, what is tarrying for the Lord? I'm like, man, they just keep us on Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it was needed. It was
Right.
needed, because you don't know. That's why it's just nice to be nice. You don't
Yeah.
know what
You
somebody
never
is
know,
doing.
right? You never know what someone's going through, what they about to
Yeah,
do to themselves, what they about to do to somebody
yes,
else. You have to be, kindness goes so far. And the fact
yes,
that we're not talking about mental health creates open doors and invitations for people to hate on other people, for people to
yes,
break healthy relationships, for people to be
yes,
envious, and for their character to be so jacked up. I mean, it opened doors for so many harmful, horrible things that people don't realize something is mentally going on, especially when you
Yes.
create a pattern for yourself and you keep doing it
Yes.
over and over and over again, and the chain has not been broken because you don't know how.
Right.
Another thing, people don't want to be vulnerable enough to get help.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
that they
You
don't have
have to
anybody to
be.
talk to. Not only
Right.
that, but they're not vulnerable enough to share what is really going on.
Right, exactly. And I remember I think I shared this with you a while back. I was in a situation, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, and it was a very dark situation. And I had went to my mom's friend for help next door, and it was really dark. I mean, it was really dark. Like I had already, tried to commit suicide, and it was a really dark moment. It was a dark moment. I'm not saying everybody moment was like that, but I did cry for help. And I'm like, somebody, you've been knowing me all my life. And I'm telling you, I need to talk. I feel like I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm in this situation, because sometimes when you in a situation and you dealing with, as you say, ghosted, situation where you didn't even see nothing coming, and you really love this person, and you just don't understand, like, help them, then that is devastating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is crazy,
It's
and I didn't
abandonment.
know it. Yes, and I had already experienced that in life, as growing up, this and that. My dad do this and all this other stuff like that. So it's just flashbacks, like, what I'm saying, for that movie for the Colored Girls, when Loretta Devine, she coming home from work, and she gotta looking in the closet in the drawer to make sure his stuff is still there. If his stuff is still there, then she know he coming back. And I'm telling you, it tripped me out. But and I know it's a lot of people that don't let somebody know what's going on so somebody can be there. But I just feel like, especially in our community, um mental illnesses is not talked about enough. It's important, and it's serious. It's
It's very
so
serious.
serious.
It's as serious as death. It's as serious as a heartbeat, because if people wasn't so worried about living it up and being on top and having an ego
Right.
on high and their pride, they wasn't so busy pleasing other people, because a
Right.
people pleaser is very toxic. To be a people pleaser,
Right.
you drown yourself, and I don't care who you are, you'll drown
Mhm.
yourself being a people pleaser and trying to be accepted and fit in with everyone else. You will drown yourself, and then it will diminish who you are. You will be
Yeah.
depressed and in and out. Like, it would be it's a horrible disease, really it is.
That
And
was
when you're on that,
first.
when you're about
Yeah.
that, and you're not going to see your mental illness, you're not going to
No.
see the help you really need, because you haven't even looked in the mirror yet. You haven't even
Right.
realized that you are human, and that things happen, and it's okay to not be okay.
That you had described me to a T. And I think some areas I'm still working on, but the people pleaser was like, I'm like, I didn't want nobody mad at me. You know what I'm saying? So I say
Right.
yeah to every, even stuff I want to say no, not no, but you already know no. Like,
Right.
this was saying yes to everything. It was killing me. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and it's a terrible thing. It is. I'm sorry to say terrible, but it is the right word to say, to try to be a people pleaser, because you secretly killing yourself. Like, it was a time in my life where I didn't want to go to nobody baby shower. I didn't want to see no pregnant folks. I didn't want to do none of that. And folks already knew my situation. And they always want me to come do the baby shower, invite me to the baby shower. I'm sitting here like, I don't want to see a pregnant lady. I don't want to go to a baby shower. That's just me. I'm just being naked and vulnerable right now. But that was a feeling that I was feeling. But because of my people pleaser self, I couldn't just buy a gift off the registry and go head on. I'll feel bad because they actually asked me, they actually gave me invitation, and then they know I didn't come. You know what I'm saying? They know I ain't for the line, say I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? And so, by me wanting to be a people pleaser, I'm there. I'm there. All in the inside. I'm just sinking in the inside. I'm sinking in the inside. Because even as a believer, even as a believer, if you want something so bad, it hurts at times, whether
Mm,
a believer wants to admit it or not. It
right.
hurts to be in the doctor's office next to a woman that's 9 months pregnant. It hurts when you see the woman in the store with the newborn baby. When you
Yeah.
desire something like, when you
Yeah.
desire so much to want, then you say you a believer, but you jealous. Jealous is a nasty word. I wouldn't say jealous, but it's just like I desire that for my life. I
Right.
desire for that, and I don't know why it ain't coming. I'm a believer. I'm putting my face on the ground. I'm crying out,
Yeah.
and it's not. But because of my people pleaser mentality, here I
Right.
am. I'm at the baby shower. I'm at the
Mm-hmm.
hospital after they give birth, and I'm not happy to be there because of
Mm.
people pleaser mentality. It will eat
Eat
you
you up.
alive.
Yes.
It will.
Yes.
So I'm just, hey,
Yeah.
that was me. I wanted to tag team, but I'm
Yes.
agreeing with what you said because that was me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm glad that you have that example to put out there to show what people pleasing do to you. Like, yeah, it will eat you up, and you the one that's suffering. Ain't, ain't
Yes.
nobody suffering for you. Ain't nobody doing it
Right.
to you. You doing it to yourself.
Right.
And because
Right.
of that, now everything's going downhill for you. You go
Yeah.
to bed not knowing who you are, not loving you, hating the next person to you, all of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then on top of that, whether you're a believer or not, you don't want nothing to do with God.
Yeah. It's a domino effect. And First Lady
It
Shaw, if
is.
you keep it all the way real and have the naked truth, is that you secretly is in a battle with him, because
Right.
you like, I love you, but I'm so mad at you. Like, you see how much it's hurting me. You see how much I want this. I love you. You don't even what can do something. You can do anything. You can do anything. Oh, so you just don't want me to have it. You just don't want
Mm,
me to have what I've been praying for you about. You just don't want it's a tug of war, because then you like I can't be feeling like this. I can't talk to him like that. Like, if I talk to him like that, that's gonna put me another 5 years from now. You see what I'm saying? Like,
mm-hmm.
it, it's a heavy weight,
It
and
is.
it's hard.
And then you're pulling yourself away from your relationship too. Like whatever
Yeah,
you had healthy,
yeah,
we know physically, whatever going through mentally is going to affect you physically, and so physically is
yeah.
harming you, and then in relationships it's harming you too. So it's like everything is unhealthy,
It's a
when you go,
domino.
like, yeah, it
It's a
is a
domino.
domino.
You go to other things, whether it be food, whether it be other addictions. Anything can be addiction.
Mm-hmm.
That's anything. It ain't just got to be food. You know what I'm saying? That's
No.
not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just more people need to. It was hard not being a people, because I didn't want to say no to nobody. I didn't want to disappoint anybody. But did nobody care what disappointed me? You
Right.
know?
That's the bad part. That's
Yeah.
the effect, is that as long as you serving other people, they ain't gonna
Yeah.
care about you. And then you're gonna feel
Yeah.
salty and get mad and bitter. Well, how come you ain't do this for me? And I did all of this. Look at
Right.
your motive. Their motive is to use you, and your motive is to be used.
Right. Right. Right.
My
It's
goodness. We
just,
can go on and on about this. And I
I
know it's
know,
kind of like off topic, but we always go a little off topic anyway.
but a first
Um,
lady, she needed to be
yeah.
there. It needed to be out there and stuff like that, because it's so many people that deal with this in silence. Like, they're not, want to be vulnerable enough to be like, hey, look, this is what it is and stuff like that. And and it's sad, but
It's real
you
sad.
have to talk to somebody about it. And you have to, especially in our culture. Back in the day, it was this, the therapy thing, the counseling thing. It was just like, no, crazy folks go there, who's who, whatever, like that. It don't matter, believer or not believer. If you need to seek help,
Right.
and talk to somebody, whether it be professional, whether it be personal, whatever it is, then you need to seek help and you
Thank you.
need to talk to somebody. No
Right.
judgmental zone. You need to talk to somebody, even if it's nobody that you know personally, because you feel like they're going to judge you. Then you need to go seek help, get a payment plan with a counselor or somebody that may just do it for free because you just need somebody right there. These little numbers they have, whatever it is that don't be ashamed to seek help. You know what I'm saying? Don't be ashamed. Be like, I don't have it all. Yes, I have this Bible sitting in front of me. Yes, I'm playing all these Christian songs, but I'm just so broken.
Mm,
I'm broken. I
mm,
need somebody to talk to me. I need somebody to tell me, how can I dissect this without losing my mind?
mm. Right. That's
So
deep.
we gotta
Real deep.
I wish any, because it's somebody that's gonna relate to something. I pray that they seek help. They reach out, even if they shoot First Lady Shaw a message. She can set up a time to talk to you and stuff
Right.
like
And that's
that.
what I was going to say too before
Yeah.
we end, that if anybody
Yes.
who watches this who needs someone to talk to,
Yes.
and you can't talk to your best friend or you can't talk to your mom,
Right.
your auntie, I am open as always to hear.
Right.
Um, I'm open. I'm an ear for you. If you want to talk, let me
Yes.
know. I am a message away, and that it's okay to
Yes.
not be okay. Because
Right.
I know how real mental illness is, and I know how real
Yes.
things are, um, while people try to cover it up and think everything's okay when it's
Yes.
really not. And so I invite you to comment and
Right.
to message.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to do it. Just because you don't see nobody else do
Wow.
it, that don't mean you shouldn't
Right.
step up, because it's not about
Yeah.
anybody else. They ain't gonna
It,
heal you. They not gonna help
it,
you. Only God
right.
can. And so
Right.
don't be afraid to reach out.
Don't. And I'm telling you guys, I've talked to First Lady Shaw. I'm telling you, and it's such a relief because First Lady Shaw, her background and stuff like that, she give, she listens to you, and then she give different insights, and she can relate to some things too and stuff like that. I'm telling you, she's an awesome person to set up a time, and she will call you. You don't have to text it. She will set up a time and call you, and you guys can and talk and pray, whatever it needs to be done. I'm telling you, if you need some help, I'm telling you, seek help, because I'm telling you to leave all that stuff bound in your head. I'm telling you, from a person that did it, it will mentally drain you. It will
Yes.
mentally, it will break your
And the
spirits.
enemy
It
will
will,
use that to
yeah,
take you out. He will use
yeah,
that. Whatever you give him, whatever you leave open on the table, he will
right,
use to take you out slowly
yeah,
but surely. It don't take, it's
yeah,
not like this. He works slow into it, weaving
yeah,
himself in. It's a plan. Plans
yes,
take time. So
yeah,
just like God has a plan for your life, the devil has a
right,
plan for your life too. And so
yes, that's so
this
true.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Um, this was really awesome, and I'm excited for us meeting up again and talking
yeah,
about some other um, relation topics. I'm
yes,
glad we're doing this. Thank you
yes.
for
Amen.
showing up and coming on this. While
Man,
thank you.
God,
I
I
appreciate
miss
it.
this the place. I'm telling you, and I just thank God for what He's doing and what
Yeah,
He's going to do in the future. Because I'm
yeah,
I'm telling you, God is taking it a place, another place, and it's needed. And I can't wait to get back to Milwaukee to do a face to face again. But I just love you, and I love the group, you guys, and just thank you. And just remember that we praying for you, and we love you
yeah.
guys, and we thank you guys for replaying and tuning in or looking at us live and everything. We thank you and we love you guys.
Yes, we thank you. And you ladies have a blessed night, whether it's
Yeah.
morning for you, evening,
Mm.
whatever time you're watching this, be blessed. Know that God loves you. He never forsakes you. And that you
Amen.
always have someone to talk to concerning
Yes.
relationships, concerning mental health. concerning
Yeah.
anything that you need. I believe this is my calling to help broken women and
Amen.
to and no matter what background people come from.
Right.
And so
Exactly.
I'm giving all God the glory to what I'm
Amen.
doing. I'm being faithful over a few things so he can make me
Yes.
ruler of many. And
Woo! You
so
better
I'm
say.
just and so I'm just thankful to God, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you tomorrow for Purpose Live, and
Yes.
we will be back next week. All
Right.
right.
Hey, thank you
So
guys.
thank you. See you, Kiana, and y'all have a wonderful day.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay. God bless you.
Bye.